Squid Game has finally wrapped up with its third and final season, and good lord, was it disappointing. Now, due to the nature of this season, I can't fully judge it on its own. This is just part 2 of season 2, so this will be a quick video on why this doesn't work as its own season, because I only had time to watch season 3. But the biggest issue with this season is that it fails to answer any questions and it fails to give us any payoffs. The island gets destroyed, all the troops escape, along with the VIPs and the frontman. Detective Huang fails to make it in time to save Gi-hun or anyone else and doesn't talk to his brother at all. Every character we've come to care about across the entire show dies. The bad guys win in every sense of the word. And I'm not saying you can't do a great story where the good guys lose and the bad guys win. Season 1 did that exceptionally well. Gi-hun may have won the game, but that wasn't what he wanted by the end. In the end, he just wanted to escape with his friends, but they all died. And when he chose to throw away the prize money to save his oldest friend, Song-woo chooses to kill himself because he didn't want the hell they went through to be for nothing. And when all was said and done, Gi-hun finds out the person he was closest with throughout the games was the one behind them. And Oh Il-nam dies before Gi-hun is proven right about humanity. And after all that, Gi-hun finds out the games are still going on. But the ending was still satisfying because we ended not knowing where Gi-hun would go. But we know that he's alive and has enough money to do whatever he wants. And we learned who was behind the games, why the games happen, and Gi-hun set almost all his wrongs right, and we can imagine a multitude of different futures. All the major questions that Season 1 established, it answered or gave us a hint to the answer. This season ends without doing any of this. A major plot was about 333 becoming better. He started out choosing to continue playing the games and risking everyone else's lives just for the money, but he gradually across the season becomes more mature. His only goal by the beginning of this season is to get his baby and her mother out of the games alive and with enough money for them to have a good life. You want to know how that plays out? He randomly goes insane and dies in the end, confessing that he was okay with murdering his infant daughter for the prize money. Detective Huang spends an entire 2 seasons trying to find his older brother. How does this play out? He sees his brother for 5 seconds before his brother walks away, and they don't even exchange a word. And when we next see him, he decides to move on with his life, and after some time gets the prize money for this most recent game, along with Baby 222 for him to raise. That was not at all something that was set up in either season. Gi-hun wants to end the games and save all the players. How does that play out, you might wonder? Gi-hun fails to save a single player. By the final game, everyone except him and the baby are dead. Was it due to clever writing? No. The final game happens because the plot demanded it. Every player says that they are okay with what I think was about 5 billion won. Then when they find out the baby counts as a player, they decide to play the next game to kill the baby so that they can get more money. So because of this, the only likable character left kills himself to save the baby because of a technicality. Gi-hun never got to see his daughter or save anyone or stop the games. Not even stop the frontman. And his big fuck you to the frontman isn't really different than what he did in season 1. The idea of the baby representing hope and Gi-hun proving the frontman wrong by rejecting money and giving his life for hope is on paper a great idea. But I would argue that was season 1. Gi-hun in season 1 rejects money for hope. He chooses to save the life of someone who did awful things for the hope that they could build a better future and that blood money was never worth it. The whole idea is that Gi-hun believes people are good because he saw good in people the day Oh Il Nam died. But Oh Il Nam never saw it. So Gi-hun's new battle is now with the front man. But him sacrificing himself doesn't work because we have already seen Gi-hun is different. Everyone, including the front man and Oh Il Nam and the VIPs, all saw Gi-hun reject the money for someone else's life. The point wasn't that Gi-hun could be good. It was that people are good. Just because you see some bad doesn't mean everyone is. Gi-hun believed in people, and the front man was proven right. I think it would have worked much better if Gi-hun did his sacrifice for player 222 during another game, and the remaining players found a way to beat the game somehow. That would truly have been the best middle finger to the front man, since not only would it have been proven that there are good people, but the front man would have lived to see this. At least something along the lines of that. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. Now, there is stuff to praise about this season. It wasn't all bad. In fact, the first 3 episodes were great. It was really episodes 4, 5, and 6 of the final season that just took a massive plummet. Hide and Seek was great. This was basically the marbles game, and this is where the majority of our favorite characters died again, and it was gut-wrenching watching this mother have to kill her own son just to save a child. And her suicide in the later episode actually caught me off guard and was very sad. Player 129's death was also gut-wrenching. She found the way out, but chose to go back to save other people, and she was the only one of them to die because of it. The jump rope game, while not nearly as good as Glass Stepping Stone, was pretty good. I think the story really takes a turn when player 222 dies. She was the last likable character that wasn't Gi-hun. She had an established relationship with 333, who ended up being the final boss for Gi-hun, and I really think her survival would have drastically improved the story. But back to stuff I didn't like, we learned nothing about the front man. He just sits and watches the games behind a mask for the entire season. He was one of the best parts of Season 2, because we get to see so much more of him. And it's even more baffling, because this is meant to be the same story. The one scene where him and Gi-hun meet face to face should have been half an episode, where they debate between their ideologies, since all of Squid Game 2 and 3 was Gi-hun being compared to the front man, to the point where a popular fan theory was that Gi-hun would become the new front man. But all we get is an offer for Gi-hun to get a free win. Gi-hun obviously doesn't do this because he doesn't want to kill in cold blood. And that is all we get of the front man for the entire season. Just what a waste of such an interesting character. And the final scene was such a letdown. The big reveal of the season was that after the island's destruction, we learned the games are still going on in America. Which means nothing to us, because no one in the story learns this. The person who sees the proof is the front man. If Gi-hun had seen this, or any other character that we'd come to love had seen this, the impact would have been so much greater. Like, Gi-hun's reaction at the end of Season 1 to seeing the games are still going on was great. It's so clear how they should have handled this scene. And I can't believe that they fumbled it this hard. Just another great idea flushed down the drain. Anyway, those were just a few of the problems I had with the season, and it's really hard to talk about without bringing up Season 2. I'll be rewatching the entire show in the weeks to come, and make a review on Season 2 and 3 as a whole, and hopefully that'll improve the story for me. And if these videos do well enough, I may talk about Season 1, because Season 1 is still one of my favorite seasons of television ever made. Guys, that's going to be all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. Comment down below what you thought of Squid Game 3. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care.